Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Okay, so we're just gonna dive right into things today because we're investigating a silent threat that's literally lurking inside off-grid and solar wiring systems as we speak. It's one of those problems that quietly reduces your system's efficiency, causes these totally unexpected voltage drops, and can even create dangerous hotspots that'll ruin thousands of dollars of equipment overnight. We're talking about aluminum wire oxidation, and more specifically, what actually happens when resistance starts creeping up inside your cables. So you really have to ask yourself, is a hidden threat melting your solar wiring right now? I know it sounds a bit like a detective story, but honestly, it kind of is. You know how it goes? We install a massive power system, we see it working perfectly on day one, and we just naturally assume the wiring is going to stay in that pristine condition forever. But the reality is, invisible electrical degradation is constantly at work. Today, we're going to track down exactly how this invisible process can silently destroy your connections over time, eventually turning a seemingly perfect setup into a massive safety hazard before you even realize what's happening. All right, let's get into Section 1, the hidden wiring threat. What exactly is quietly reducing your system's efficiency? To really understand this threat, we have to accept one basic fact. Electrical connections just aren't static. They live in this highly dynamic environment where heat, moisture, constant vibration, and just the passage of time fundamentally alter them. And the absolute biggest factor here is the dual nature of aluminum itself. See, when aluminum is exposed to oxygen in the air, it naturally, and I mean rapidly, develops a layer of aluminum oxide. Now, mechanically speaking, this oxide layer is actually fantastic. It forms this robust protective barrier against further corrosion of the metal underneath. But electrically, oh, it's a completely different story. Electrically, it's a serious problem. This natural protective mechanism basically acts like a brick wall, creating a highly resistive barrier. So when this oxidation develops right at a termination point, your electrical current is suddenly forced to push through this terrible non-conductive interface, which massively drives up your contact resistance. Which brings us to Section 2, aluminum oxidation and CCA. Let's look at the specific vulnerabilities of copper-clad aluminum. Because here's the thing, not all aluminum wiring behaves the exact same way. With a pure aluminum conductor, you've got a uniform material, so the oxidation primarily happens right at the exposed termination ends. But copper-clad aluminum, or CCA, that is an entirely different beast. CCA uses an aluminum core hidden beneath an incredibly thin outer layer of copper, which is mostly just designed to save weight and cost. Let's think about what actually happens during installation. If you use the wrong stripping tool, say one that's a bit dull or just improperly sized, and you create even a microscopic tear or nick in that ultra-thin copper layer, or maybe you over-tighten a lug and accidentally deform the strands, well, you've just instantly exposed that hidden aluminum core to the ambient air. You've literally invited oxidation directly into the current-carrying interface of your cable, completely bypassing its only line of defense. Moving right along to Section 3, the heat feedback loop. Let's break down the dangerous math behind electrical failure. So here is where we need to shift from the chemistry of oxidation to the actual physics of heat generation, translating these engineering formulas into real-world consequences. Good old Ohm's law, right? V equals I times R. The absolute crucial point here is that voltage drop equals current multiplied by resistance. As that oxidation drives up the resistance at your connection point, it fundamentally causes the voltage drop to increase as well. What does that actually mean for your system? Well, let's say your setup is pulling 100 amps. Even a fraction of an ohm of new resistance creates a very real, measurable voltage drop. It means significantly less voltage is actually reaching your components. So, your highly expensive inverters are literally being starved of the power they need to operate efficiently. But here is where things get truly dangerous. Power dissipation, which is just another word for heat, equals current squared times resistance. I really, really want you to focus on that squared part. In off-grid and battery systems, we are almost always dealing with massive currents. Because the current is squared in this formula, even a tiny, seemingly insignificant little bump in resistance creates a disproportionately massive spike in heat generation. It's huge. The higher the current, the more violently that tiny bit of oxidation converts your precious electrical energy into dangerous, wasted heat. We aren't dealing with a linear problem here. It's a completely exponential threat. And that exponential threat triggers a terrifying chain reaction. Let's walk through how this classic positive feedback loop accelerates, because it happens fast. Step 1, the oxidation forms, which raises the resistance. Step 2, that new resistance generates heat under your electrical load. Step 3, this heat causes the actual metals to physically expand, and then when the load drops, they cool and they contract. Step 4, This constant thermal cycling, expanding, cooling, and contracting, gradually wiggles the mechanical connection loose. Step 5, that newly loosened joint lets even more air in, so even more oxidation attacks the new gap. And finally, step 6, the resistance spikes even further, generating way more heat and accelerating straight toward a catastrophic failure. Heat leads to looseness, and looseness leads to more heat. The cycle completely feeds on itself like a runaway train. Okay, section 4, measuring the danger. It's time to move beyond the theory and get into some quantified testing. It is definitely time to pivot from the invisible mechanics of this threat to the actual forensic tools we need to track it down in the real world. Now, conventional advice out there often tells you to just, look for visual corrosion. But I'm telling you, by the time you can actually see the damage with your naked eye, it's almost always way too late. We absolutely have to stop guessing based on basic theory and move to hard, quantified practice. We need to expose this hidden resistance using precise milliohm measurements. We need to perform actual voltage drop testing while the system is actively running under load. And most importantly, we need to check the thermal rise under load using a thermal camera, literally scanning those junctions while the system is working its absolute hardest to see exactly which connections are actively bleeding heat. So I want you to apply this directly to your own off-grid or solar setup. DC systems are incredibly sensitive to resistance at a few specific bottlenecks. Are your battery interconnects genuinely secure? What about those super thick high-current inverter cables? Have you actually checked your PV combiner wiring lately, or your outdoor DC connections that get constantly hammered by moisture? And if you are running undersized CCA conductors in literally any of these critical spots, they are going to heat up significantly faster under load. That puts you at a much higher risk for this entire oxidation feedback loop to just kick right off. Which leads us perfectly into section 5, prevention and safety. Let's talk about how to stop this silent threat before it even starts. All right, let's get into some actionable solutions. First things first, we must recognize the critical red flags. If you look at your setup and you see melted insulation, discoloration around your terminals, or, and this is a big one, if you detect a burning smell, this is not a drill. That burning smell is the physical wire insulation breaking down and melting from the I²R heat spike we just talked about. If you experience a crazy unexpected voltage drop, or if you touch a terminal and it is noticeably hot, a major failure is actively developing right there in front of you. You must disconnect the power immediately and investigate. Do not ever ignore these late-stage warning signs. But of course, our ultimate goal here is to literally never reach that scary stage. Proper installation is your absolute best prevention. You have got to use properly rated, high-quality conductors right from day one. When you are using CCA, make sure you use the correct, sharp stripping tools so you don't accidentally nick that ridiculously thin outer copper layer. Always, always follow precise manufacturer torque specs. Don't over-tighten and crush the wire, but don't under-tighten it and leave it loose either. Protect your outdoor connections from moisture, and just make it a routine habit to inspect your operating system with a thermal camera. Remember this. Absolutely no amount of troubleshooting down the line can magically fix a garbage initial termination. A small resistance increase today can become a major failure tomorrow. Seriously, let that sink in for a second. This whole thing isn't just about losing a tiny bit of system efficiency, it's about the laws of physics, heat generation, and ultimately, your safety. You have to proactively measure, monitor, and honestly, respect your electrical connections. By deeply understanding how this oxidation actually works, you can catch the hidden threat long before it catches you. So, keep your system safe, measure absolutely everything you can, and thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. But right before you go, I want you to ask yourself one final question. When was the last time you actually put a thermal camera on your most critical electrical connections while they were sitting under a heavy load? The answer to that might just surprise you.